So the question is very simple. Without doubt, you ask this question to anyone, do we need a total crackdown on terror? Of course, everybody will agree and say, yes, we need a total crackdown on terror. But the fact is, you try and move in the first step and there'll be 20 people who stand in the way, creating trouble for you. There'll be the human rights activists, there'll be political parties, there'll be self-interest groups. There will be people who will rationalize terrorism in India. There will be people who will justify terrorism. There will be people who will use terrorism and, somehow imbue it with the color of regional party politics. There will be people who will do everything to stop a total crackdown on terrorism. And today, after what has happened in Pakistan, I want to ask you just one question to all our viewers. If you support a total crackdown on terror, please tweet. The hashtag is Total Crackdown. We keep this debate going. Welcome to the debate. Maroof Raza stays on with us. Sheshadri Chari, convener of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP. Sanjay Jha, Congress spokesperson. RSN Singh, former RAW officer. Zafarul Islam Khan is editor of the Mili Gazette. I mean, with respect, he is among those people who have sought to rationalize terrorism in the past. Pandiarajan is an MLA, he's from the IDMK, a party which very often has stood with people who have had pro-LTT leanings in the past. There have been people who've taken that position. Manjit Singh GK, president of the Delhi Gurdwara Parbandhak Committee. Thank you very much. Let's begin, please. And let's first decide right on top of the debate that we'll have an open, free and frank debate on the subject. Now, my first question I'd like to throw to RSN Singh. Are there people who within our country, where does the biggest opposition to a total crackdown on terror, RSN Singh, come from? Where does the biggest opposition come from in your view?
These are the ideologues and the intellectuals. How many more PhDs, Arnab? How many more root cause theorists? And let me tell you, nobody questioned the leaders of post-independence era when they imported so-called isms. Is communism indigenous to this land? Did somebody ask that how Mao and Stalin are being deified in this country? When communism had arrived here after killing 3 million people and 2 million people respectively in Russia and China? Nobody questioned because these people were, they used to talk in English. They continue to talk in good English. So that is why, these in the veneer of these ideologies, you have today Maoism. Now you have any number of people telling you, socio-economic. I want to ask them, please say what is socio and what is economic. I dare any of these fellows to go to the Maoist areas and open a school or a dispensary. I'm sorry, I'm very angry today because
why blame Mao and Stalin?
Angry.
These people who quote Mao and Stalin probably have never heard of him or read him. Let's not blame Mao and Stalin for it. Let me put the question to Zafarul Islam, for example. 1 second. Zafarul Islam, for example. Because, sir, those who provide an intellectual cover to acts of terrorism, in my view, are as responsible for acts of terrorism as the terrorists themselves. Now, Zafarul Islam, you know what has happened today in the Peshawar school. We are all grieving for it. I'd like to remind you that it is people like you in the past who have sought to rationalize terrorism. People like you, therefore, by rationalizing terrorism, have sought to undermine the fight against terrorism. You know, for example, when you came on the Newshour the last time, it was 2012, I think in February, you were rationalizing, Zafarul Islam, the attack on the car of an Israeli embassy official, saying that Israel is being paid back for its actions against Hamas and Hezbollah. So what you were doing, Zafarul Islam, was that you were justifying an act of terrorism. In other words, you were encouraging an act of terrorism with your words. So Zafarul Islam, would you like to take back those words today? Today, are you a little more clear about your own views? And when you look at the pictures from Peshawar, do you see the folly of the kind of positions that people like you take? Zafarul Islam.
Excuse me, I did not rationalize terrorism and I will not rationalize terrorism. What I was saying, that you should look at the whole picture, not at
Sir, I look at the whole picture. I remember what you said on February 13, 2012.
Yes.
And I'm here to challenge those views.
Yes. What Israel has been doing in Palestine, in Gaza, how they have killed thousands of people, how they have maimed, how they have destroyed thousands of
So
homes.
you justify an act of terrorism. This is the problem.
No, I do not.
This is the this is the language that terrorists like
that
to
you
hear.
You cannot just look at one side.
So
Look
who's
at the
looking
whole
at one
picture.
side? Why
You
do
don't
people
give-
like you? No, my question is direct. My question is very clear, and let's open this up for debate. Let RSN Singh, Sheshadri Chari come in. Sheshadri Chari, how do we let people who justify terror get away in our own country? I mean, I'm asking Zafarul Islam. I can ask so many people. We don't want to talk about it. Zafarul Islam, you know you are among those people who denied the existence of terror organizations like the Indian Mujahideen. You said Zafarul Islam.
No,
you
no,
said
we
Zafarul
don't
Islam.
deny.
No, Zafarul Islam. No, one second.
We don't deny.
I don't.
We want the,
No,
we
no.
want the proof. We want the evidence.
People like you.
We
People
don't
like
want
you,
just
Zafarul
claims.
Islam.
Claims
People
are not
like you.
sufficient.
People like
Claims
you.
are not sufficient. We want the proof.
This is the problem.
The Som
This
Home
is the
Ministry,
problem.
which was saying.
This is the problem
just
in
2
our
or 3
country.
No, just.
No, this is the problem in our country, Zafarul Islam.
this
The
is not
terrorists
the problem.
benefit from the intellectual
The
cover
problem
that people
is-
like you provide.
No. The problem
I'd like to get
that
Sheshadri
you
Chari
want
into the debate. I have a problem with this view tonight. And this is what this country does not need. RSN Singh coming back into the debate. RSN Singh is coming in. Sheshadri Chari, after that I expect a response from you, sir. RSN Singh.
Mr. Islam, one short point. Had you been sensitive to Malala Yousafzai, so many Malala Yousafzais would not have died today. You did not honor her Nobel Prize because you wanted to placate the jihadis. You 3 decades back, you did
this
not
is your own
honor
opinion.
one
I
of your
never
Nobel
said it.
laureates.
I am proud that a Muslim
No,
girl
no,
has got
let
a
me
Nobel
tell you.
Prize. I never said that. You are putting things in my mouth.
Just listen
I
to
never
me.
said it.
Three
I never
decades back you
supported
did
the
not
jihadists in Pakistan.
you did not honor
Never.
You did not honor Abu Salam when he got Nobel Prize.
You have
because
Zafarul
he was
Islam.
an Ahmad.
No, you have
Because he was
Zafarul
an
Islam.
Ahmadiyya.
No, you have Zafarul Islam. You have.
No.
And people like you have. Because I know that on the 30th of November 2008, Zafarul Islam, and I really want to take on these groups tonight. On the 30th of November 2008, I remember Zafarul Islam. I remember. You said these are alleged new Muslim extremist outfits. These are fictitious Indian Mujahideen. You were among the leaders out then, the Zafarul Islam, who called it a fictitious Indian Mujahideen. You did that. You supported the attack on the Israeli officials. You called it the fictitious Indian Mujahideen. You provide the intellectual cover for these terrorists to operate from. Today my question to you is, Zafarul Islam, say sorry tonight. You have read the confessions of Yasin Bhatkal. You have read the confessions of Yasin Bhatkal. You have read the confessions of Yasin Bhatkal. Will you explain why you are providing the Indian Mujahideen a cover till now?
I will accept it. Give me the evidence.
Give you the evidence? I've read out your own words. You don't believe the evidence that is there? You have not read the confessions of Yasin Bhatkal? I don't understand how people like you, Zafarul Islam, are so blindfolded to the reality.
I'm not blind. I'm not.
Well,
blind.
I'd like to get Sheshadri Chari into it. Sheshadri Chari.
Arnab, before I really make points regarding the subject today, I want to make use of your channel and its popularity to make 3 points, three short points. Pakistan has declared 3 days of mourning for all those, in memory of all those children who have been killed. I would request you to propagate this idea that Government of India also should at least declare 1 day of mourning.
Yes.
To express solidarity with those parents whose children have been killed.
Yes.
And also pay homage to those children who have, innocent children, who have fallen victims to the terror bullets. That's point number 1. We should also prepare a team of psychologists who should go to Pakistan for counseling. We should prevail upon the Pakistani government to allow them access. Do counseling of these children and the parents. This is very important. And the third point is, we must immediately put a high-level task force to prepare for any eventuality, because let me tell you, Yesterday it was Sydney.
That's right.
Today it was Peshawar.
Yes.
And targets in India are not far away. We are very vulnerable to these attacks. So I think we should have a national security doctrine. We should immediately put together. The previous government had appointed a one-man task force under Naresh Chandra task force on national security policy. That report has not been made public yet. That report should be made public, and we should have a national security doctrine so that we know how we are going to face such eventualities. Having said this and having made these 3 points, I think we should today decide, and you should relentlessly prepare for this campaign, that terrorism of any color, any religion,
Exactly.
any ideology, any ism, we should, in honor of these 135 odd children who have been killed, in their honor, we should decide today that there should be zero tolerance as far as any kind of terrorism is concerned. Don't glorify terrorism. Don't ever rationalize any action that is a terror action. Be any party, any ism, any political
But people
group,
do.
anybody.
No, but people do. I support it. I support it, what you say. And let me say, Sheshadri Chari, I also support, let our country have a full day of mourning for the children, 135 children who died there in Pakistan. I support it. I kept saying to our Pakistani panelists today, I feel your pain, but I also asked them, have you felt ours? Do you feel ours today? Will you work together with us? But my question there is, will Sanjay Jha agree there has been hypocrisy on this subject? Will Pandiarajan from Tamil Nadu agree there has been politics on this subject? Will Manjit Singh, GK of the Akali Dal, the Delhi Gurdwara Parbandhak Committee, agree there has been regional politics on the subject? Just as will Zafarul Islam Khan agree there has been intellectualization of terrorism? Will they agree? Will you agree for once? Manjit Singh, GK, let me start with you. Will you agree? Okay, Sanjay Jha raises his hand. Sanjay Jha, go ahead. Sanjay Jha, please. Will you agree that you politicized it, Sanjay Jha, that you've been weak about it?
You know, Arnab, today we have witnessed a terrible tragedy, and I would like to tell you that it's such a paradox that Malala Yousafzai gets a Nobel Peace Prize, and you have the same Pakistan Taliban gunning down innocent children today in Peshawar. I mean, that by itself is one of the biggest ironies that I personally have experienced today. And I can tell you, I'm sure everyone across the world today will empathize with the families which are, I'm sure, totally devastated for years to come. I think today let's try and reduce a little bit of this political heat. The bottom line, Arnab, is I think all political parties ought to, and I'm hoping they are. It was good to hear Sheshadri, sounding extremely moderate and, and actually saying something very constructive. But the truth of the matter is that if we have to do and prepare ourselves against what could be a very dangerous cross-border in Pakistan, because, if you follow, and Arnab, you do a lot of programs with Pakistan Taliban has been very openly saying in the past that their jihad is against the state of Pakistan, but not against the civilians. But the fact that innocent children are being targeted, and you have terrorism reaching the Wagah border where 60 people died a few weeks ago, it tells you that we are extremely susceptible.
And therefore, I know our vulnerability. My problem is, Sanjay Jha, our vulnerability comes from political parties who don't take on... What about those who intellectualize terrorism?
You and I debated that. Just one last point.
Sanjay, come to the point tonight at least. Tonight at least come to the point.
Terrorism Center, an NCTC, which was
this is not about the NCTC. Come on now. This is not about the NCTC.
Carnage that happened here in Mumbai.
This is not about NCTC.
Did not find a political consensus.
This is not about...
These are things that we need to fight within.
No, sir.
I'm not bringing politics, but there has to be maturity. There has to be a constructive and a mature approach.
Sir, your first question is...
You can't derail a counter-terrorism strategy because of federalism while building the safeguards.
You see, you're complicating a simple issue.
Protection.
You're complicating a simple issue in my view.
Intervention happening because
you're complicating a simple issue, Sanjay. I don't know why you can't give me a clear answer.
But we haven't had these things. We need to work on it.
The simple question...
I'm not, Arnab.
When can you take on terrorism in this country When, you know,
I think on
if you-
terrorism, there cannot be a debate. As a party, we believe you've got to take the most stringent steps possible to prevent
Mr.
what happened
Sanjay
in
Jha,
India in 2611.
Mr. Sanjay Jha,
It has happened in sporadic incidents in different parts of the country. I think when an attack happens in Hyderabad, it's an attack on the soul of India, not just in Andhra Pradesh, not just in one city. So we need to wake up to that reality. And we are very, very susceptible with a very difficult and a complex neighbor. I think after today's event, I don't think there should be
no, Mr. Jha, you're not, Mr. Jha, you don't understand a simple thing. What am I saying? I am saying there is a lot of politics on it. I am saying today in Punjab, you have the one party which defends clemency for killers of the Punjab Chief Minister Bian Singh. You have people who are supporting the LTT in Tamil Nadu, right? You have people who are supporting the Indian Mujahideen. Your government, your minister said the Indian Mujahideen is a figment of people's creation. You do vote bank politics on it. You think people will actually benefit from it. You don't take the responsibilities of what happened. You were not even willing.
Well, you know, if
even cases, the Ishrat Jahan case, other cases, you politicize. No, I want an end to the politics on it, Sanjay Jha. I want an end to the politics.
You should get Mr. Sheshadri Chari to answer. The killers. By the way, do you know that the Bharatiya Janata Party's political ally in Tamil Nadu celebrated the assassination of former Prime Minister Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, and the BJP and the Prime Minister kept silent? That is the problem. I agree with you, that is the problem. There is a political vote.
This is the problem. Sheshadri Chari.
Two very quick points.
Sheshadri Chari.
If someone from the Congress party were to do that, we would condemn it. Let Mr. Sheshadri Chari answer.
I heard you. Let me tell you one thing. We have condemned what the Tamil Nadu party has done. We have condemned it in the strongest possible words. And this is not the first time. Even during when Vajpayee ji was the Prime Minister, this man behaved in a similar manner, and he was arrested when he was part of our government. So don't tell me this. We have done it, and today he is not part of NDA. He has quit NDA, and we have taken the challenge. We don't mind if this fellow leaves this party, leaves NDA, but we cannot tolerate a person who glorifies terrorism in this manner. And the same goes for all those people who eulogize LTTE for the similar political reasons.
Mr. Pandiarajan,
I'm telling you, on your own channel, on this particular channel, I have criticized Akali Dal for what they have done.
Yes, you have.
In spite of being a BJP man.
Yes, you have. But will Manjit Singh accept the mistake? No, yes, you have. But will Manjit Singh accept the mistake? Will Manjit Singh accept the mistake?
Mr. Jha.
No, one second. Sheshadri Chari, a minute. Sheshadri Chari, I am glad we are coming to the nub of the issue.
No, Arnab, I had to add one more thing.
No.
When there was a very strong anti-terrorism law in Maharashtra, and we wanted a similar law in Gujarat, and the central government at that time did not allow Gujarat government to have that law.
That's true. I understand your point. But will Pandiarajan say today that pandering to those who support the LTT was wrong?
But you were running your own law in Gujarat.
No, Mr. Pandiarajan. Yes, Mr. Pandiarajan, go ahead.
Arnab.
Go ahead.
Arnab, I don't, first, the one point I want to make here is this. 42 years of its existence, ADMK has never supported terrorists in any form.
Sir, you ordered the release of terrorists convicted by the highest court in this country only for the Supreme Court to later stay the release. You were pandering to people who backed a terror outfit like the LTT. It wasn't just Rajiv Gandhi who died in that blast in May 1991. 15 others, including children, died. You wanted the conspirators and the executioners to be set free. That is politics over terrorism, Mr. Pandey. Accept it. That is politics.
Not really.
That is politics.
Arnab,
how is it not?
Arnab, you can't paint with the same brush. You can't paint with the same brush DMK and ADMK.
Mr. Pandiarajan, you know what Jayalalitha's position was on the issue in February 2014. Don't you know it?
No, yeah, I was in the assembly. The assembly passed a resolution.
Exactly. So,
ADMK
that's politics.
Never supported. No, not really. I mean, I want you to make a distinction between mass genesis of Tamils, which happened in Sri Lanka.
Sir, I am talking about setting the killers of the Prime Minister of India free. I don't know what else is support to terrorism, directly or indirectly. The killers of the Indian Prime Minister.
You need to see it in the context.
So what context? My question is, Mr. Pandiarajan, what context, Mr. Pandiarajan? I'm saying tonight, this country needs a total crackdown on terror. Regional parties stop doing politics on it. Human rights activists back off.
No question.
Human rights activists back off. People who... Yes,
Mr.
Sheshadri.
Pandiarajan should also know. Arnab Goswami, Mr. Pandiarajan should know that some of the top Tamil leaders of Sri Lanka have been killed not by the Colombo or army. They were executed by LTT. They were liquidated by LTT.
No, but
LTT
Mr. Chari,
was
please
using children
understand
and
the
women
mass
as
genocide of Tamils.
civilian shield. They have taken children and women as hostages.
Mass genocide of Tamils.
So
No, sir, don't justify. Don't justify. Don't justify. RSN Singh coming into the debate. Maroof, I'm coming to you. 1 second. No, it's an interesting conversation tonight, isn't it? Mr.
Banned by the government of India.
Mr. Pandirajan, you see, Mr. Pandirajan, why am I talking about this tonight? 1 second. No, 1 minute, Mr. Pandirajan, 1 minute. Why am I talking about this tonight? I want to once again go. RSN Singh coming to you, Maroof Raza coming to you, Manjit Singh, I'm coming to you next. Now let's play the pictures from Peshawar today. What I'm saying is watch these pictures from Peshawar for God's sake tonight and realize how horribly close we are to terrorism of the worst possible kind just next to our borders on the subcontinent. These people are simply terrorists. And in our country, I'm saying this with all humility, Manjit Singh GK, politicians do business with terrorists and use them. Human rights activists support terrorists and they benefit from it. So-called intellectuals, and unfortunately, sections of the media support these intellectualization of terror. Manjit Singh GK, do you deny it? Is the death anniversary of the assassins of Indira Gandhi not commemorated annually? Have you not demanded clemency for the killers of Punjab Chief Minister Beyan Singh? Have you therefore not supported terrorists directly or indirectly? Manjit Singh, the question is to you, please. Maroof, I'm coming to you. RSN Singh, I saw your hand go up. Manjit Singh. Yes, Manjit Singh.
Arnab, first of all, we condemn this ghastly
Sir, everybody condemns another form of terrorism but support a different kind.
Yeah, number one, support. No, Arnab, you listen to me, please. For 8 years, Akali Dal is in Punjab. Not a single act of terrorism has taken place.
That's not the question.
We are the zero tolerance state. Yes, this is not the question, but the question I'm coming to, which you put to me. If you are talking about the clemency for the killers of Beyan Singh, if a person is there in jail for 20 years and if you are going to hang him now, it was only that it should be converted to the life imprisonment. Number one. If you are talking of honoring the killers of Indira Gandhi, it is a routine on your channel. I have
Sir, there is nothing routine. You need to take a firm position on it. Sir, terrorism is terrorism. Now we have taken it. Sir, as a country, I'm saying, as a country today, how vulnerable we are. Manjit Singh GK, you see one man's terrorism and another man's freedom fighter. We've heard this for a long time. Now that we are against violence.
Yes, I agree. We are vulnerable. We are not taking stands. We are practically controlling the terrorism in a state where just now Sanjay Jha has said that we have a complex and difficult neighbor to handle. We are trying to stop the terrorism. We are the community who has faced the state terrorism.
It's not a community issue. It's not a community issue.
We have been killed for mistaken identity.
Sir, it is not a community issue. It's not, Manjit Singh GK, it's not a community issue.
As a country, as a country, we condemn any kind of terrorism.
No, sir.
We are fighting to curb the terrorism.
Manjit Singh GK, now we are going to open up the debate. Once Maroof is coming back into the debate. Maroof, please, I find this horribly, in a way, worrying that in our country, everybody supports one form of terrorism and questions somebody else's form of terrorism. As long as it does not affect your own interest, you are against terrorism. Maroof, please.
Arnab, see, I want to move beyond politics because you've seen left to politicians, the end result is going to be a lot of finger pointing at each other. But there are certain pragmatic steps that we need to take as a society. The first is to identify what are the problems. Terrorism is our most immediate threat. Pakistan is short term, China is long term. But all our large defense spending, everything is largely for buying boys for toys, buying toys for the boys, and not spending on internal security, which is still stretched for resources. The second point which I wish to make is that we are not following a simple dictum outside of a few security agencies, which is the 3 Ps: prepare, preempt, and then prevent. We are neither doing any of that, and unfortunately, the governmental agencies are only busy protecting governmental buildings and governmental institutions. They are not spreading
Maroof,
the
Maroof, we're straying a bit. No, we're straying a bit. I take your point. No, Maroof, I take your point. No, Maroof, I take your point. I heard your comments even in that news package which we ran before that. But my question is, are we really ready for a unified approach or a crackdown on terror? RSN Singh, listening to this debate, are we really? Are we addressing the issues head on? RSN Singh is over to you. RSN Singh.
See, you have correctly started your debate by saying that should we have zero tolerance to terror? Are the intellectuals intellectualizing terror? My point is that, every terror that has come into India, it has been a product of an ism which is alien to this land. You take any terror. Now the second thing is what has happened today. Children have been massacred. Now you will see the Maoists also using the same tactics. Children are being used by them like cannon fodders. They are being used as shields. They are not just being targeted. Women are being brutalized. The Naxalites who killed Mahendra Karma, after his killing, these Naxalite women were seen dancing around his dead body. Now that is the kind of brutalization that is happening because of this terror which is being imported from outside. So we need to de-intellectualize this terror and
why are you quiet, Zafarul Islam? Zafarul Islam, why don't you admit your own mistakes, Zafarul Islam? Because among other things, you have even made the unfortunate comment. You make a series of comments to incite people all the time, Zafarul Islam.
No.
You have even said Afzal Guru was not given a fair trial. You have even said that.
That is true. Yes.
You see,
I stand by that.
Yeah, so you see, Indian Mujahideen does not exist.
Yes,
you support the attack on the Israelis. You support terror attacks.
I don't support any terrorism.
Well, of course you do. Of course you have.
What I am saying is, look at the whole picture. And also, what I would like to say here, that you should not allow any state to use terrorism as a policy, as an instrument, as Pakistan has been doing. I know this. They have built up these outfits like Lashkar Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. That is not the way. And we did also the same mistake when we built up Bhindranwale and LTTE.
What hypocrisy! What hypocrisy! What hypocrisy on your part, Zafarul Islam! What hypocrisy on your part!
This is the whole picture.
What absolute hypocrisy on your part! You have no respect for the Supreme Court in this country. No, I'm asking Zafarul Islam. You see, last week over the weekend, Asaduddin Owaisi told me it was a mistake that he said the Indian Mujahideen does not exist. I want you on Newshour tonight